Often it's hard to find the truth. Sometimes it leaves you blind. The truth.
The truth, baby!
Brings you to the light.
We back, another edition. Awfully, they try to replicate us, but they never can,
Showing
baby.
You
the
wrong
truth
from right.
Around the SML, baby. The Godfather of SML shows. Let's get those glow sticks out.
The truth.
Yes, sir. The truth around the SML with Coach Paulie here. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Time to put the kids to bed. It's time for the truth. And this show is not for everybody, okay? Let's make that clear. You know, those with, that get those hurt feelings and those with, small egos that can't take criticism, please tune out of the truth. We don't need you. We only need those guys that, want to be great and future champs and champs currently. That's what we're looking for here on The Truth. So, this show, I'm going to go through SML standings. Then I'm going to go through water cooler talk for the boys as I bring on your 4 surprising coaches of this cycle and 5 major disappointments of the cycle. And I'm going to hit hard at some people's jugular, so just make sure that you tune in for that. But first, as we always do on the show, I usually welcome in, you know who the guest is. It's usually the previous season's champ, and we ask him some hard-hitting questions, let's say, that no other show on the SML network can ask questions like this to any coach, because we don't care. We go right at them, and they give us, the heat, pretty much. So I don't want to string this along anymore. Again, put the kids to bed. It's time to party with the truth. So, without further ado, let's play the theme music here.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Yes, sir. The champ is here. Coach Dump, how you doing?
We're doing great, baby. The champ is in the building. Long overdue, but we're here.
You're here, man. So I'm gonna go straight here to these questions. I know you're busy on your tour. You're still on going on ESPN and all that stuff with your trophy, showing off your Simbardi. So that last playoff, the last playoff run. When did you know this is my time? What game did you know this is Dump's time? I'm gonna win this time. When did you know?
I really knew it after I beat Bean like I did. After the Fig win, I was like, Fig played me tough. No, there's gonna be a lot harder games down the stretch.
But it's Fig, right? So you're like, you don't really take it serious, right? Fig, I love you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, we walked through the first half. But I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to play better. And then we come out of the gates and we just take it to Doink or Bean. Same person, but
yeah,
take it to them, and we got a convincing win. So after that, I knew it was over with Wine and then Woods. Walking into those games, I knew it was over before it even started. It was no competition.
I mean, I had you all the way versus Woods, in the final. I didn't think it was going to be a game. The Wine one kind of scared me a little bit because he's kind of new. He's unpredictable a little bit. So, but you took care of both. So, wow, that is crazy. So, any major additions or subtractions from the champs in this offseason? I know your team's already loaded, but is there anything you added or subtracted from the team?
No, we're doing a solid job this cycle. It's kind of been the consistent thing is like, obviously I don't have any money, so just try to keep the roster intact as best we can because it's the best, hands down.
Yeah.
And just add through the draft, which I've been pretty good at drafting. got a few decent trades to make my team better, and that's how I built it. I haven't relied on free agency. I never really rely. SML, there's not gonna be too many great free agents, so
Yeah.
you got to build it through the trades and draft. That's what you got to do to be successful.
And you heard it here first, SML, how the champ becomes the champ and how he, builds that roster and keeps the roster together. So next question I have for you, who is your SML rival, you think? Someone you love to beat them and then say F you buddy afterwards. Anybody in the SML?
Um, this question is kind of like it's kind of been like a Russian roulette revolver. I got a lot of bullets in the clip, but I don't know which one's going to go off. Through the years, it's been Meats, Monty, the various guys in the SML. But I think right now, I have a good one.
Yeah? Who is it?
It's Doink. It's
Doink!
Doink. I love to beat Doink because he's got that. Sometimes it's not that I don't like him, but just sometimes he's got that smartest guy in the room. Kind
Oh,
of
like QB
persona.
Stud Jr. kind of, huh?
Yeah, like a mini QB. And before we played last time this season, he was like, "Yeah, how do I approach this game with Dump? Say like take the humble route and say Dump's the champ with the super team. I can't beat him, or take the route of he hasn't beat me all cycle. I'm going to blow him out." Well, he obviously doesn't remember at the beginning of the cycle when I beat him like 41-0 at 9 in the morning.
Wow.
So he got lucky one time. Beat me in a close game, and then I had to remind him this time that we're not playing around. We're the champs for a reason, and we blew his doors off. So
Yeah.
and he wasn't too happy about it, but in the SML you gotta take your losses. Everyone loses. I lose, not very often, but I like to say I've become a gracious SML member, and I take my losses on the chin, and we just keep moving forward, and we win rings. That's all we do.
Man, one thing about you, Dump, I love the cockiness. I wish there was more coaches like you in the SML. It's great for viewing, you know what I mean? And it's great for chat and all that stuff. So, I keep it going. And there it goes, SML, you heard. It's the FU buddy game. His rival is Doink. There it is. So, your next question here. You're cruising around 9-2-ish. Do you think all the pressure's off as, as you won your first one and of all the cycles you've been here, you've always been a talented player, but you never won one, and the pressure was mounting. So you think the pressure is off, and you think it's going to be a lot easier now going forward?
Yeah, I don't really. The great ones don't really feel too much pressure. I never really felt pressured that I had to win one. But I definitely think now that I'm a champion and I'm etched in the record books and better than a lot of people. I think it does take some pressure off. I can just play and live with the result. I got the trophy. I achieved my goal in the SML, and now it's just icing on the cake. All these ones that are going to come after, it's just going to be just icing on the cake. I'm gonna be like MJ. I'm gonna sit there with my rings on one hand, my trophies, and might get a little case for them. I might have to build a spare room in my house for all the ones I'm gonna get.
Yeah, man, that's the way to do it, man. Now you've always had a lot of talent. You always had them great, man, but never be able to put together, and you finally have. So I think there's bright things to come in your future in the SML, obviously. Who do you want to see in the AFC ship this year, and who do you want to see in the Super Bowl when you're there?
Um, the AFC ship is a tough one because there's a lot of good. I do have I'm very confident in my abilities, but I also do have a lot of respect for the guys in the AFC. It's been fun, battling out with all those talented guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Who's somebody you want to beat in the AFC that you think it'll really give a statement? You know what I mean?
I'd like to beat Dan.
Dan.
He has had my out of anybody in the SML. He's the only one that's really had my number this cycle. So to beat him in the AFC title to go to another Super Bowl would be really good. Dan is a great player, not elite, but
No,
like
he used to
talked
be
about that
back
on
in the day, but
yeah,
the only player he
he's a
really
great
beats
player.
nowadays is you, and all of us like bad guys. But other than that.
Yeah, so hopefully he has the. I don't know if he's still got it left in him to make it that far. He's been kind of a one and done guy this cycle here recently, so we'll see. But that'd be really good. And then Super Bowl. Hmm. I'd like to play Bomber. I'd like to see Bomber in one. I like Bomber. He's a great member of the SML, and I got a lot of respect for Bomber and what he did us for the league. So I'd like to see him in the Super Bowl, just I'm really pulling for him to make one and pull through. He's had kind of an up and down cycle. I think he's due to get there.
Yeah, no, those are two great picks, and both of those guys are going to be in one of my two lists coming up on, Water Cooler Talk for the boys. So stay tuned for that. So two more questions for you, two more, and these are going to be, going at it. I know you're going to give me the truth. That's why I ask you these questions. So, who is the least talented player in the SML? One guy you look at and wonder if he's even using his hands to play Madden or his feet.
I think that's an easy. It's Gilbert.
Gilbert?
Sorry, Gilbert. He's a great guy, but man, I'm like, does this guy blindfold himself while he plays, or what's going on? It seems like, I don't know, if he hasn't won a game this year, he might be on like a 30-game losing streak.
So tell me something. So would you ever consider while playing him maybe giving the controller to Miss Dump and kind of pulling a prime there?
Yeah, I should do that next time I play him. Maybe I'll let her play the whole game. She'll probably win.
All right, shots fired there, and my man Gilly takes a licking and keeps on ticking, award winner. Now, last question, and that's another goodie here. So you're a world-renowned strength coach, pretty good at what you do, and you know SML pretty well. Who do you think in the SML benches the least if you're going to make a bet on it in the SML?
Ooh, if I had to make a bet on it, this is tough.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I gave it to you because you're the professional. You gotta.
I don't
Think about the league, and who's in here. Who do you know?
Yeah. Man,
I stunned them.
there's a lot of guys that I think probably. This is a tough competition. Probably Bean. He seems like he's too busy playing with his ducks.
So you're telling me Bean's the guy, right? Where you're there and it falls on his neck and you have to save him.
Yeah, we like to say, "Welcome to the Staples Center." You get stapled by the bar.
So Bean, get in that weight room, man. If you need a strength coach, Dump is always taking one-on-ones because that's where you make some money. So, Bean, get at Dump and get in there so you can increase your bench. So, anything you got to say for the SML before you go on to your next show?
Man, best of luck for y'all trying to knock me off. I know there's a big target on my chest, but we're like Eli Drink forward to being back on the show next season for a second time in a row.
And you are a great, great guest on the show. I would love to have you back here, and good luck, Dump, going forward, and hope to see you in this position again, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Paulie. It was a pleasure. Long-time viewer, big fan. Finally got in here. It feels great.
Thank you, Dump. All right, bro. We'll see ya. Go slow in traffic. Get home safe. All right, bro. That's Dump, the champ, and the music's on. The champ was here. The champ was here. The champ is here. All right, SML, on to it. Let's get this show moving. That was one of the greatest. I think that's one of the greatest interviews I think we've ever had here on The Truth. No cap. That's definitely a great interview. He's not afraid, and I need more people like that on this show. Hopefully next year's champion can spit the truth. There's some guys that come on here too reserved. We don't need that. It's a Madden league. I mean, nobody's coming for your head, maybe except for Bomber. I mean, nobody's gonna plant a bomb in your car or come for you. So you gotta get ready. So gonna take a run around the SML standings here. We're gonna start with the division that the champ is in here. It's the AFC North. So, AFC North, we got the Steelers at 9-2, the Bengals at 9-2, and that's a fight. That's a big fight there. You know what I mean? One guy has some party this cycle, and the other guy doesn't. That's what it comes down to. But that's a fight because Dan, I could imagine he's very hard to play over and over again because he's a strategic type player, and Dump's kind of guy just sits back and just slangs the ball, right? So, that's a little difficult, but 9-2, both of them going to be in the playoffs. We got the Ravens. You got Taxman Mike at 5-5, and then we got the Browns, NYT at 5-5, both pretty mid. They're playing pretty much like they're used to playing, right? Right in the middle of the pack there. Pretty average, and they're there. So that's that division here. Next division is the AFC South. We got to go 10-1. Unbelievable, dude. 10-1 with the schedule he's had. And I know everybody glazes him all over him, but the truth is the truth, man, cuz it's the GOAT. It's the GOAT. So he's good. He's great. 10-1. We got the Jags, who I just played, who just whipped me pretty good. I had some unfortunate stuff go on, but he's really good. KP at 8-4. I expect him to be in the playoffs. Then we got Torque at 3-9, having a rough season, having a rough go of it in the SML. I know he has a lot going on. He's always on the road more than Tommy Lasorda was with the Dodgers, but he's a baseball coach himself. He'll bounce back, probably not until next cycle, because baseball season goes on from now on, much like it is for me. And then we got terrible two-step, man. 0-10. He might set the record for the most number one picks in the draft in SML history this cycle. He might set a record, but takes a licking and keeps on ticking, man. Next division is the AFC East, probably the weakest division in the SML. One guy I'm a little disappointed in. He just beat me, but nowadays that's not that hard. We got Beanie Boy at 6-5, who was just mentioned by Dump as the the weakest bencher in the SML, according to a world-renowned strength coach. Then we have the Jets, KJ Lander, 4-7. We got the Canadian, my favorite Canadian in the SML, 5-7, and then we got Figs at 1-10. I mean, this division is a nightmare. I mean, I just wish I would have joined this division. I would have been fun. Maybe would have been competitive. I'm not sure, but this division is, and I expect Bean to run away with this division, and it's not so far. So I think he's the disappointment of this division for me. He should be rolling in this division. He should be, having Mrs. Bean play while he sits back. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We got the AFC West, one of the toughest divisions. We got the Chiefs with Wine at 7-4, very tough competitor with a great team. Then we got QP, West Coast boy, 7-4, kind of, laying in the weeds a little bit this season. KP is, QP is, and then we got Raiders. Gouda having a bounce back season at 6-6, going back to his, last cycle he was about a 500 guy, a little bit better, so he's having a season above average. And again, one of my guys, man, he came in flying in the SML, and he's flattened right out. Like, bottom line is filthy. 4-7. I would never expect a team like Filthy and the Broncos to go 4-7, but I'm going to mention him a little later, so I'm going to leave this alone. NFC North. I mean, I'm going to call this the Pop Wiener division. I mean, last season was an anomaly. I mean, Bombers 9-1 right now. I'm 4-7 and struggling. I set a goal before the cycle: win one division and make the playoffs and win a game. And I already checked all the boxes last season, and now it's just gravy. And you can tell with gravy comes defeat, because I'm 4-7 and I'm losing by 30. I mean, now with spring hitting, it's going to be tough. My best time to win at Madden is from December to like March. You know what I mean? Mid-March. So now that time's gone. So I'm giving this division to Bomber here in Arnold. Bomber, go win one, buddy. Vikings, another next best thing. Curse, AJ 3-8. I don't know how he can be 3-8 after he was the darling last cycle, but I don't know. I can't explain that. And then we got Coop still in the boot, probably on the painkillers. He's still not coherent, I don't think. His wife's still bringing him food and stuff. So 1-10, busy with work. But he's still a tough play for those that play him twice a year. You know what I mean? Very tough to run on that team. I'll tell you that. So we're going to go next to the NFC South. We got the Falcons at 8-2, 9-2, 8-2. We got the champ there, one of the champs at one time, Doink. 8-2, great team, great QB, set for you to lead, all that stuff. Then we got Dom, 5-6. Pretty disappointing. I'm going to mention him later too. Dom is, 5-6. I know he wants to dev up his QB. He's pulling a tiny and just throwing everything, trying to dev him up. I bet, that's how he got those stats, because that's not a Dom type stats for a QB. You know what I mean? He has to be thrown a gazillion times. And then we got Noel at 6-5, who has a better record than Dom, surprisingly. And then we got Gilly, 0-10. Fun little Gilly, 0-10. Him and two-step going for the takes a licking and keeps on ticking award for this season. Both 0 wins, so I don't really know who's going to win that award, but I don't know. it's going to be close. That's all I got to say. It's going to be close. So, next division, we go NFC East. Another tough division here. We got my man Tiny Titans, 8-3, leading the division. We got Colt 45, 6-5. Gonna win 7 games, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna win 7 games because he plays me in a couple weeks. We got the Cowboys Meats, 4-7. Very below average for Meats. I know he's moving into a new house and painting everything and, putting that pole in the basement and whatever. So I get it. We got Woods, another disappointment. I mean, since he's won the Super Bowl, he's been up and down more than the stock market, I think. Very disappointing for a team that talented. And he beat me by 32 this year. So I don't think he'll make the playoffs. I think the only one from here is going to be the G-Men. And then we got the NFC West, one of the most talented divisions along with the other West. We got, Biz, man. He continues to impress with that team. He just has to get through his little playoff drought there, and get a couple wins. 8-2, very tough to play. Doesn't give you the ball and doesn't really, turn it over. He's what I want to be. You know what I mean? I never thought I'd say that, but it is. And then we got the Rams, Straw at 9-3, always great in the regular season, but in the playoffs it seems to fizzle out. Then we got my boy Matt, 8-3. He's in there. He's in there still. He's definitely in there, so he has a chance. I see 3 teams making the playoffs in this division. So 3 teams are definitely making the playoffs. And then we got Monty, 3-8. I mean, he's better than 3-8. He's built the team. He's got a gazillion draft picks, and all you can show is for 3-8. Monty, next time go in the division with less studs. That's all I got to say about you, man. Go in the division with less studs. So that's a run around the league. That's my thoughts. Next, the last segment of the show, we got water cooler talk for the boys, and I got some stuff to throw. And see if it sticks. Water cooler talk for the boys. Let's ring this. All right, so we're going to keep it quick. We don't like to get this thing too long now. We got a game to play and get our ass kicked versus Bomber pretty soon. So I'm going to give you my 4. Let's make it 4 surprising coaches so far this cycle. So we have about 2 more seasons to go. Hopefully we don't go more than that because we'll be pushing August and nobody wants to play a game that we've been playing for a year in late August. But I'm pushing for 2. That'll take us to, July or right after July, late July probably. So, that being said, I'm gonna go in backwards order here. So I'm gonna go number 4. Again, this is my pleasant surprises of the cycle, and my number 4 is gonna be Doink. Doink came in. His team was mid. He's got some great upgrades. He won a ship, and he still continues to do great things. He never won a Sombardi before. I'm gonna give him an award. I'm gonna give him the number 4 most surprising coach award because he's done it, and I mean he's doing a good job, man, with this team that he has. So, hats off to Doink because he's done it so far. So next, I got Dump, the guy I just had on the show. Surprising, and he finally won a ship, and I think he's gonna win a couple more now that he's got the monkey off his back. It's just. He's doing good things. He's winning consistently, and he finally won one, and that was the one he needed to. That was the one he needed to, and he's got it. My number 2, pleasantly surprising coach of this cycle, and this is only because I never thought he would win one, ever. Pretty much ever. I never thought he'd win one. So, it's Woods. Woods won one Sombardi. And I never thought that would happen. That was a memorable run, and he definitely surprised me this cycle so far. No matter what he does the rest of the cycle, he won a Sombardi. So that's more than I'll ever do, more than most will ever do. So I give him the round of applause. And he did it. And I'll never do it. And now my number 1, it's going to be a little surprising, but this guy used to be in the toilet in the SML. When I used to see this guy on my schedule, I used to think, oh yeah, free win or 2 free wins, and I'm pretty sure everybody used to feel the same way, right? Did you see this guy in the schedule? You're like, yeah, I'm gonna win. I don't even have to play half the game, and I can win, right? And this guy is putting it on this cycle. He's found some mentors. I know he's talking to some people who's teaching him the game, and I mean, he is just 10 wins, 9 wins, playoffs. His only hurdle he has left is actually winning in the playoffs a couple games. And once he does that, man, he has a potential. I think he has potential to make some noise. Let's see. Can you guys guess what it is? Okay, nobody can guess what it is. I'm going to tell you. It's Tiny Titan. Tiny Titan. I mean, I never thought this guy, he used to be, he used to be a speed bump in the way. He used to be somebody that nobody even was worried about. Now he's leading the division and has done great this cycle. Tiny Titans, you are my most surprise. You're my most surprising coach of this cycle and doing what you're doing. Keep on doing things, man, and you're going to be great, man. So, now it's time for my most disappointing coaches of the cycle. So these coaches, a lot of them have won some Barties, and a lot of maybe some of them have not, but they're always talked about as being in the mix or making playoffs or being decent at Madden. And I'm going to go there. All right, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to start at number 5, this most disappointing coach in the SML. Number 5, and I usually don't mention myself, but I'm disappointed in myself, ladies and gentlemen. I usually can get 8 wins. I'm struggling, except for last season where I dialed in and did the right things. I can't hold on to that anymore. I don't get the animations on defense. I don't get when I'm throwing a pick. I don't get anything. I don't get how to play defense. I think I know how to play defense, and they score 50. I mean, I'm just disappointed in myself, man. I'm just disappointed, and hopefully next cycle it will be better. That's all I got to say. So that's, my number 5 disappointing coach, and this is what I have to give to myself.
You suck.
Yep, that's what I have to give to myself. So far, okay, number 4, most disappointing coach of the cycle. Again, I'm thinking we're playing 2 more seasons, so anything can happen. You can improve and get out of this list and get on the other list if you want. It's Dom. Dom is somebody who's always mentioned, oh, this guy is great. He's about to break through. I mean, he's going to break through. He's going to break through. I've heard that for seasons. He's going to break through. He's going to break through. And then he never breaks through. He has 1 win in the playoffs, and then he goes home. Makes a Super Bowl, whatever, and then loses by. And then what? It's Dom. I always hear that. And now Dom, he just said he's going to every single Cubs game, and he's going to frat parties on the weekend. So it's done for Dom. Dom's done. Rest in peace, Dom. Madden. You had so much potential, and I don't know what's going away. Just pouring it away like a Bud Light on a Friday night, Dom. I don't know what's going on with you, but it's just not good, man. And I'm going to give you the... Bro, what's up? That's not good, bud. That's not good. All right, number 3. This one might get me killed, but this is for the show. This is for the show and the rating. So, number 3 coach that... This guy won a Sombardi before with a stacked team, and this season... He has Justin Fields, one of his favorite little binky quarterback that he always wanted. He can throw from anywhere, run one side, throw to the other. Pretty good abilities. He has, and this guy he's not shy of the greatest abilities in the game on both sides of the ball. I mean, his running back has jukebox. His running back prior had jukebox. Now he just got a defensive tackle with inside stuff, and he's got a quarterback who can make any throw. And he's good, and he practices the game. He's good at the game. He knows this game we call Madden. So if he does, he has to win at Sombardi this cycle. Or it's a huge disappointment with the team that he's built here in Chicago, and that's you, Bomber. Okay, I'm gonna call it out. I love you, great guy for the league. I mean, I love the content, but I'm just calling it because it's the truth. You have Justin Fields now. You have a running back with the best ability of the game. You have a defensive tackle with the best ability of the game. I mean, don't lose to Prime by 30 anymore. Now you need to hang with the so-called Big 5. Because I don't believe in the Big 5 anymore. Half of the Big 5 are retired and old and decrepit. Let's call it that. All right? So it is what it is. All right? So, Bomber. Come on, man. Bomber, come on. All right, next coach. Number 2 is this guy was supposed to be the next big thing. I know you're thinking AJ, but it's not. He should have been on this list, but I don't have that much time. This guy was great coming up from Primer. It was great. He's great in the regular season, but then in the playoffs, he hasn't won a Sombardi since he's been in the SML. He hasn't won anything. I mean, he hasn't won anything. Anything at all. So, I don't get it. I mean, how is he still the best? It's straw. I know he took a little bit to build his team. He's great in that division. He gets to the playoffs, and he goes incognito. It's Straw. Number 2 on my disappointment so far this cycle is Straw. Hands down, no questions asked. It's Straw because I don't know. I hear all this stuff, but nothing comes out. Nothing. There's nothing at the end but a big loss in the playoffs. So that being said, my number 2 is Straw. My number 1. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me play it. Can you get that? The church bells are playing. The church bells are playing. My number 1 disappointment so far this cycle. Again, you can change it. 2 seasons left, but it's the same old for Dan. Dan the Messiah, the once bushwhacker, knows everything about the game. When he tries to figure out something, he puts it in chat. Oh, I figured out something. Or, ooh, I got something new. Or, I finally figured something out. Or, I got my QB now. My old QB was no good. Dan, the shtick is getting old. You haven't won a Sombardi in 2 cycles. Okay, I was told. And, I mean, you can beat Dump all you want, but you don't have what it takes anymore to win it, I don't think. You know, those hands are getting decrepit. The arthritis is kicking in. The calf's hurting you. I mean, you know so much about the game, the ins and outs, what you can do in match, what you can't do in match. You're Tiny's, I think, mentor, but can you do it yourself now? You have your hometown team, but you can't do it. I mean, come on, Dan. It comes to a time where you have to, put up or shut up, my friend. And right now, I mean, just you don't have what it takes right now, man. In the AFC, that's stacked. Maybe if you were in the NFC with us normal Joes, you could make noise because you're just above a little bit of average now, especially in the playoffs. I mean, you have a good record and all, but let's see what happens when you play the big dogs, Dan. And I love you, man. I'm saying I'm doing the sign of the cross right now and everything, but I just tell the truth here on the truth. And hey, that's for you, man. Dan, I'm sorry, Dan. You have a good record, but maybe this will inspire you to win one. You haven't won in Sombardi lately. You know everything about the game. Your best feat was winning it with the Falcons, which I respect, and I always told you that, winning it with a subpar team. Now you have your own hometown team, and you haven't won a Sombardi yet with 2 seasons to go. Dan, you're my number one, coach that hasn't really done it so far this cycle. Underachieving coach. And you know it, I know it, we all know it. And on that note, water cooler talk is over and the truth out. Till next one, baby. Peace.